So call-out culture seems to be about scrutinizing everybody these days. It's sort of about, well, this is what you should be. Whatever they think, whoever it is that's calling you out or calling someone out. And it's all about calling somebody out in front of a lot of other people. But there seems to be a lot of pontification going on these days with telling people what to do. And I'm not talking about abuse or racism or sexism or homophobia. I'm not talking about basic social issues that people want to change, that I want to change. I'm talking about pretty much every little thing. Nobody can really be themselves or be human anymore, or be imperfect anymore without being called out or being advised, being given a speech or a lecture. And at least it's just something I've noticed. I mean, I can't go anywhere without having somebody say something to me. If I say one thing, or if I'm self-deprecating, if I make a self-deprecating joke, I can't even make a joke about, oh yeah, well, I'm fat, I'm old, or whatever, and I'm being self-deprecating, and I'm making a joke. I'm not trying to put myself down, and I'm not asking for any feedback or advice, but people have to give it to me, and I find myself feeling like, oh, I guess I shouldn't have said anything. Maybe I just won't mention anything like that again. I mean, but I wasn't asking them to say anything, but I think I don't know if I'm correct in assuming that this is the culture that we live in, or if it's just how some people are. But I have noticed everywhere I go, on the internet or everywhere else, people are making speeches about humanity and how they can change, and they go right down to the littlest things. Oh, you shouldn't smoke, or oh, you shouldn't embrace this whole idea of obesity, because that's bad. That's not healthy. That's not good. That's not beautiful. There's this whole thing, either that or like and it's one extreme or the other, man. I mean, like I get it that a lot of things in Me Too and SJW culture is not healthy. I mean, I've talked a lot about the abuse situation to death. I've talked about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and they're just two examples of what I'm talking about with that. And you've all heard me discuss it. False allegations suck. Men and women are capable of being abusive or being abused, and there's no gender specification. I've gone on about that, but seriously, the obesity, I'm overweight. I could lose some weight, I recognize that there's a lot of things that I could do to change my situation. Am I willing to do all of it? Yeah, well, I do want to be able to get up and go out places. I do want to be able to not have pain in my bones or in my joints or in my muscles. So I don't want to have to be forced to go to a chiropractor twice a week, but it's good for me. It's healthy and it's helped me. Physical therapy has helped me. So I will do it. That's my way of trying to fix things. And there's other things that I need to do that like I bought the keto diet. I'm going to try that. Lots of stuff that I'm trying. I'm not just going to say, okay, just accept I'm never going to be better. I'm not going to say that to myself. But I mean, that's one thing. But I'm not sitting here going to judge somebody else for just being, hey, this is how I am. Cool. I'm not going to sit there and, stay in a conversation with somebody who says, no, you have to change. Because I'll sit there and say to them, well, what are you changing? Oh, I don't know. No, don't. Don't give me you don't know. I mean, if you're going to tell me how to change myself, oh, well, I'm doing all this stuff, you know, and then they sit there and they talk themselves up. Well, great. Congratulations. You know, meanwhile, you know, I'm not going to sit there and have an argument with somebody. See, the other thing is people are conflict happy. They like to argue. They like to push your buttons just to see what kind of reaction they can draw out of you. And I just don't see the God. I mean, it's very frustrating to have a conversation with anyone. Nobody's making jokes anymore. Nobody can just, oh well, la-di-da, you know. Nobody can say that anymore without people trying to change, you know, trying to fix everybody else. Me Too has to change, you know. But at the same time, it's not going to be overnight. So we have to accept where people are at. And if somebody wants to pick a fight with me, or if somebody wants to call me out, or if somebody wants to help me, you know, I mean, they may come on real strong, and I can say to them, all right, chill out. I heard you. I'm not ready to deal with that right now. You know, I'm a smoker outside and a vapor inside. I like nicotine. There may come a time when I want to give it up. But right now, I'm okay with it, you know? It's just part of what I do, part of who I am. I want to lose weight, but I'm not going to worry about it so much that I'm freaking out, you know? If guys don't find me attractive, they don't find me attractive, you know? But I find, you know, it's just about, you can accept obesity without accepting or you know allowing yourself to like completely just not, you know, or you know, like, you can accept obesity without letting somebody die or letting yourself die. You don't have to condemn people who are overweight. You also don't have to like sit up there and say, well, no, you gotta, you know, find me attractive, you know, even though I'm overweight, because I'm better than a thin person. Nobody's better than anybody else. You know, I think people just kind of need to just stop calling out. Enough calling people out. Just start calling themselves out. Start writing in your journal or something like that and calling yourself out. Stop calling everybody else out. If that makes any sense. Thanks a lot.